Have you ever seen an A+ setup present itself? You don't take the trade, and then the trade goes in the direction you thought it would. The setup is right there in front of your face, and it ended up going in your direction, but you never pressed the buy button. Well, if you're anything like me, when you first heard the term market maker model, you were probably just as confused as I was. Because look, while market maker models are extremely important to actually executing your trades, they can be very, very hard to understand. All of your trades end up eventually hitting your take profit levels, but you never get an entry even in the pullbacks. Whether this happens to you a lot, whether it barely happens to you, or whether it's never happened to you at all, it is still important to understand why this happens so you can avoid it at all costs moving forward. So that's why in this video, I'm going to give you the only information you need to start getting those entries, stop sitting on the sidelines, and become profitable once and for all. So the first thing that is very, very important to understand is going to be premium versus discount. The reason why some PDRAs work and the other ones fail. And this is how you're going to know which ones are going to be reliable and which ones are going to be unreliable. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to find a range, something like this, where you have a high and then you have a low that has been put in. And if you want to short inside of this range, the way you find out where to short is going to be through this premium and discount tool. Essentially, you just want to find out where the halfway point of this leg is, and you're going to want to short in a premium, which is above the 50%, and you're going to want to stay away from shorting in the discount, which is going to be below the 50%. So up here is premium, down here is discount. You can see in this example that I made here that price comes up into a premium before rejecting some sort of PDRA inside of this leg and then goes and makes a new low. This is ideally what you're going to be looking for. And then on the other hand, you have this example here where price comes up and has a rejection right here. Now, most people are going to look at this rejection and try to short. However, you're missing that this is in a discount. So this is not where you're going to want to short at all. You want to short in the premium up here. So what does price do? It comes up and takes out this leg, comes into the premium, and then and only then does it reject and make a new low. So this is what we're going to be looking for. We're going to be looking for ranges like this where we have a high and a low, and we can mark out the 50% and short above that 50% as opposed to below the 50%. Now, if you look at this example right here, you will see that we have a lot of PDRAs inside of this leg. The first one that I see being this little order block right here. So why would we not want to long this order block? Well, there's a very simple reason. So we take the premium discount tool once again from this low to that high that we have put in right there. And we're going to only want to long under the 50% level. Remember, above the 50% is your premium, below the 50% is the discount. If you want to long, you want to long in a discount. If you want to short, you want to short in a premium. Now, is this little order block inside of a premium or is it in a discount? Well, this one specifically is in a premium, so we would not want to long here. Where's the next PDRA that my eyes go to that is in a discount? Well, that would be this lower fair value gap right here. And you guys can see how that plays out. As soon as we pull into that fair value gap, we go and we make new highs, as you can see up here. Here's another example right here. We have a range high that can be spotted up there and then a range low, right? So once we have the range high and range low, we want to see where do I want to take my trade? Now, clearly you guys can see this is very bearish order flow. So at some point in this range, I want to pick up a short trade. Now, where exactly is that going to be? So the time currently is 1 p.m., right? We want to wait till 2 p.m. because that is the brand new 4-hour open. We have a PO3 happening there. So that's more than likely where this short trade is going to take place. So let's see what price does as it comes up into this premium area. And let's see where it starts to slow down. Now you guys can see we are obviously in a bearish 5-minute order block, along with a 15-minute breaker block. So there are a few areas of resistance up here. So this is where I want to see price start to slow down. We have the new 2 p.m. open right here. As long as this has a manipulation leg, then it is good. You guys can see we manipulate above these highs right there. So this is now where I'm going to start looking for my short entry. So I would be short right there. You have a stop loss right above this 5-minute order block that we've created. And we simply just want to take profit at the lows. Let's see how this goes. And before you know, the trade is complete. Now, this is as clean as that 2 p.m. PO3 gets. Here's another live example of this being used. So we have, again, a range high that can be found right there and then a range low right there. All you're going to do is take out your premium discount tool from the low to the high and find a fair value gap or something of that sort that is in a discount. Now we have two here. You guys can see that we have a fair value gap right there and then a fair value gap down here. Obviously, the one we're going to want to stay away from is the one in a premium. We do not want a long in a premium, only a discount. So we will wait for price to come down into this lower fair value gap and we will take that. Now this trade works out pretty much perfectly. We have the 2 p.m. open. As soon as 2 p.m. opens up, we get this big push lower into the exact fair value gap we were looking to long out of. This is now going to be a 2 p.m. PO3. We want to long under the open of this 2 p.m. candle. You guys can see it has not manipulated anywhere to the upside, so this only can go up now. So you can long right there, have a stop loss under a low, and we're simply going to want to target the high that we made, or you can target any of these previous highs. Let's see how this trade goes. And there you go. Before you know, that trade is also complete. Now, for example's sake, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this range here from the high to the low, mark out the premium and discount. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try shorting in a discount, just so you guys see how this goes. So in this case, in the discount, we have this fair value gap right here. So let's see what happens if we take a short inside of that fair value gap and a stop loss directly above, and then target these lows. So this is going to be my entry. My stop loss is going to be directly above the fair value gap, and I'm going to target the lows. Gives me a 2.7 R. Should be a good trade. Let's see what happens. I'm tagged into my trade right there. And there you go. I'm now stopped out of my trade. Prices officially went into a premium, and let's see what it does now. My trade goes and completes. All right, so as a final example, I'm going to show you this setup right here, which I actually played, and you guys can see the high and the low, mark both of them out. And in the premium of this range, we have a 15-minute fair value gap. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind, only about half of this fair value gap is in a premium. So this lower half, we are not going to touch. We're going to wait for price to come up into the upper half of this fair value gap, and only then can you place a short entry. If I drop down to the 5-minute, you guys will see there's several PDRAs over here, including this order block, that we can potentially take a short from, but we are not going to because we're waiting for the premium to hit. So let's see what happens here. Price comes up right into the premium zone. You guys can see we are above the 50% in the upper half of this fair value gap. And what do we get right after that? We make new lows. Now, if you guys got value from this video and you want to work with me directly, where you have access to daily live trading, weekly calls, personalized trade reviews, and everything you need to become a consistently profitable trader with me holding your hand every step of the way, then click the link in the description and start your journey to becoming a profitable trader in less than 12 weeks. If you qualify, I guarantee you that you will get funded, or I will personally trade with you until you do. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.